Cool. On to the next one. This team may or may not have gone to Rome.
Oh man, DC United. Did they see the Pope?
No, he was out of town actually.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. You know what else is unfortunate? DC United's season so far. One win, two draws,
One way to
and
say it.
four loss. Huh?
I said it's one way to say it.
Yeah. One win, two draws, and four losses so far, putting them in 13th place in the Eastern Conference. Top player for me, I've gone with Click. I know I definitely gave him, I think I gave the transfer like a pretty bad rating, something like a C minus maybe. But he has definitely overplayed that so far. I think he's been a fantastic player for them this season. You know, as fantastic as you can be on a 13th place team, but it's a team game, obviously. He needs the guys around him to help step up as well. But I think he's been phenomenal for them so far.
Yeah, I went ahead and grabbed our friend Christian Benteke. I was not a fan of the signing at all. Um, when they brought him in at the end of last season. That being said, 3 goals on a team that's got 7 of them so far. I think that kind of speaks for itself. He's doing a lot of the work up top. And they're not bad goals either. When DC play, they can play. So it's nice to see that. They just need to get more consistent. I'm looking here. You've got Donovan Pines with only 2 games, Andy Nahar with only 2 games. Lewis O'Brien, their new signing, just made their first appearance. Taxi's only got 3 games. A lot of people with only 1 or 2 starts and a couple of sub appearances. Um, yeah, just lots of work to be done in terms of consistency at that team.
Nice. What are you thinking about most impressive player?
My boy, TKD baby, Ted Pietro.
Couldn't have seen that one
Highlighted
coming.
him, highlighted him as one to watch when we did our team preview. Um, Basically, what I'm trying to say is I know ball because this guy came in at a 21-year-old midfielder, 300 minutes, a goal and an assist already, including a game winner or a game tying and a game winning assist in the same game. Um, Excited to see his growth over the next couple of months, but yeah, big think he's been very, very impressive this year.
Yeah, so I absolutely could not pick TKD because I can't let your ego grow any farther than it has, or else it might genuinely explode. So I have gone with Chris Durkin for this one. Him coming back to MLS after what I will say is not a great spell in Europe, considering he's back here now at 23. Got to consider that probably means it didn't go very well. But he's stepped right back into this DC team, and he's been looks like he's been playing pretty well. I mean, he's one of their top rated players across a few different sites that I've been looking at, and he's and that's definitely a bit more impressive when you take into account the fact that he is playing as a defensive mid, and I think that they kind of slate the defensive mids a little worse in the ratings because they're not scoring the goals, but I think he's been having a strong year. Coming back off of, I guess, might be a harsh term. I don't know his time in Europe very well, but I'll call it downtime in Europe.
What about least impressive then?
Oh boy, did I definitely not forget to update this one. Why don't you give us your least impressive first?
You're so good at hosting
I
things.
it says Brant Bronico right now. That's clearly not right.
What? Never again. I'm always in charge after this. Um, Taxi Fontas. We came in and thought he and Benteke were gonna combine and be this killer combo, and he's got he just came back from his, I guess, injury or suspend. Oh, it might have been a suspension, wasn't it? Yeah, for little Dante Van Zier-esque action, if I remember correctly. Um, so he just came back from a suspension and has been mid. So hopefully he turns things around. But yeah, he's been definitely underwhelming in these first few games that he's played.
I'll go with I'll go with Pedro Santos. I'm not sure. Honestly, let me double check where they're playing him. But obviously, we know Pedro Santos was a great playmaker on Columbus, and from what it looks like, at least according to Who Scored, they're not playing him as a left back, so he's a bit more up the field. I would anticipate that he would do a bit more in terms of creation and playmaking ability, but across multiple sites, it looks like he's got a pretty low rating. He's only got 1 assist so far this year. And he's got minutes too. It's not like he's just coming in off the bench. I mean, he's got 330 minutes so far and 4 starts, I believe. So he's getting game time. It doesn't seem like he's bringing enough to the field.
Good one too.
Cool. I think this one's going to be pretty obvious for you, considering I remember your predictions for this one. But overachieving or underachieving?
Neither.
Neither. You didn't put
They're
them in
mid.
13th.
They're mid.
You had them way higher than that.
I don't know what you're talking about. They're mid.
I'll pull the clip. You're the editor. But pull the clip anyway.
Oh man, it's so good being the video editor on this channel. Yeah, I mean, listen, are they underachieving based off of my prediction? Probably, but let's be realistic. They're right where they belong.
So now we're gonna be realistic. But when I said that about FCC, you had a whole kerfuffle about it.
What what part of I'm in charge don't you get?
I hate you. You're not in charge this episode. I'm in charge.
You're never in charge.
This
I just
is
tell
my
you that so you can
episode.
feel good.
I don't remember where I had them predicted, but I have them underachieving because I feel like anybody that's in 13th place that is not named Montreal.
Or FCC.
No, FCC maybe 2 years ago, but I mean, they brought in tons of new players. They backed their manager, and they haven't got the results. It's early. They still have time to turn things around. Obviously, one one win could potentially bump them all the way up to like 8th. So I mean, it's tight, obviously, but yeah, I mean, so far they've been underachieving.
I agree.
Cool. Question for you. If you could pick one player from within MLS to fix the situation in DC, who would you pick? To fix it to the best of their abilities. Who's the one? If you could pick one player from another team, put him in this DC team, who would you do? Who would you pick?
Wow. Toss me on the spot.
Listen, you put me in charge. That's what you get.
Oh man.
How about I will
You
talk
go
from mine.
first.
Okay. I think that they need a playmaker. Someone who plays similar to like a Kev De Bruyne, David Silva type play style.
Yeah, go get Kevin De Bruyne. That'd be a good idea.
I didn't say Kevin De Bruyne. I just said the play style. Let's relax. Obviously it's highly unrealistic, but I think having a playmaker like Carlos Heel in this team to just set up Benteke, I think Benteke would genuinely become one of the better or best strikers in the league. I think what he's done so far with I feel like little chances that the team has provided for him has been a great sample size. And I think if you got him a legitimate playmaker behind him, I think he'd be banging in goals and DC would look a lot better than they have been.
I don't think anybody's got a number 10 that they're just going to part ways with at that level, though. That's the issue.
Yeah, obviously, you'd have to bring in someone at that level from outside of the league. You're not gonna find it within the league. I don't know, man. I
The
mean, maybe you could take a shot at like Pazuello. Where is he now? Is he out in like Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, he left. He left the league.
Bring him back. Giovinco was crying to come back at some point.
Giovinco was crying because he didn't get enough money. Yeah, I don't know who I'd bring in. I think the playmaker is not a bad shout. I think really, I think the back line is still garbage comparative to what we thought it would be. Doesn't shock me, by the way, when you take an attacking focused coach and try and put him into a team, you're going to miss out on that. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Tyler Miller has not been it, by the way. There's just so much that they can do. And you know what? Here, let me go back on that. Realistically, it's less about what player and how much time they still need to gel. I mean, you look at this team and look how many players they brought in this offseason. It had to be, double digits worth of new starting players. They're still trying to figure out themselves and figure out who works well where. And so I'd say give them let's reevaluate halfway through the year before we start just saying, oh, blow it up.
Okay.